Hey guys, I'm Nicolas. I'm a consultant in the process industry, and today I want to talk to you about how I went right into freelancing straight after my studies, straight after uni, and with actually no experience. And I wanted to share some insights to you to also show you how you can eventually make it too. So let's get into it. I'm going to have two parts in this video. The first one is going to be the professional side. The second one is going to be the personal side. And we're going to start with the professional one because I think those insights can really help you understand what's going on in companies right now and what they need. So I think the first big advantage you have is when you go freelancing, you can make your own scheme, your own process, the way of working. Because if you work in a company, actually, you can feel like I'm getting experience, which is good. It's actually a path too. But you can be stuck in a frame through what they call experience, which is this company, and you can have the feeling that all companies work this way, the world works this way, which is absolutely false. And the fact of growing from the ground, like from nothing, is really, really gonna make you build your own process, your own operational process, which is gonna be optimized for your type of business. So yeah, don't get stuck in mental schemes of companies because it's not so good after because it can be harder to move. Because actually I've been now in more than 15 companies, I think, and what I can know so far is that I don't know anything because things change everywhere and no one works the same way. It's actually pretty interesting to see. So the opportunity to build those systems. Second thing is about experience. You might have the imposter syndrome thinking, oh my God, I don't have enough experience for this. How will I sell myself? But actually, clients just ask for a task, and the skills are way more valuated than your experience today, especially with new professions we have in IT, in marketing, etc. I'm working actually in automation, in process, and I use lots of kind of new tools from Microsoft, which are becoming easier and easier to use now, and they are really often updated, and people just don't know what's happening in this world because they don't have the time to look for it. So if I take the example of Power Automate, where you can just have automated mails coming every week, Power Automate is actually making um, updates very, very often. And companies I go to don't even know the existence of Power Automate for lots of them. So this is, and they're just asking for a skill. They ask you for a result. So if you can build them a system which is automated and they just don't know, they just pay a price for this, they're really okay. They don't care if you've been working for 10 years before in this field. All they want is a system that works now and that you can also support throughout the time. Uh, so the big advantage with professions, I talked about this, the experience you're going to take. So the experience is actually something very interesting because we can think that sometimes someone who's been in a company for 30 years has lots of experience, etc., which is absolutely true. But the thing is, this person has experience in this company, which means it doesn't mean he's going to be very good in another company, sorry. So the experience you have when you go freelancing right after you study is going to be times 10 compared to someone with a classic career because you're going to have lots of use cases from those companies. You're going to see the way they work. You can make links also between companies you're going to help in your activity, and the experience you're going to get in 5 years compared to your compared to people from uni who are going to one company is going to be way, way, way bigger than them because you just see many, many, many different cases. You don't go as deep as they go in their fields, but you have a big, broad view of the way people work in different companies. Then about youth, because we talked about experience. So you're like, yeah, but I'm too young. What if I make mistake? And this is actually a very good point. you're allowed to make mistakes because you're young. People are going to forgive you way more than if you had lots more experience. My first biggest contract, I had it when I was 23. I was so much under the imposter syndrome at the time. It's actually still a client to this day, but it was like I made the offer kind of, I really sold myself very well. I didn't know at the time, but I sold myself pretty well. And I've been wrong in this case several times, but the thing is, I overcompensated with more work and proposed other solutions, etc. And this is actually what a client is waiting from you, is that you can make mistakes, but if you have to overwork 2 hours or 3 hours, you're just not going to build them, solve the problem anyway, and things are okay. People just wait for results, and you're right to be wrong because you're young. So this is a big advantage you have when you go straight from uni to freelancing. And then last thing on the professional side is the fact that you're going to have the ability to develop many skills that you wouldn't have developed if you work in a big group. If you work in a big group in, let's take an example in construction, site management, you're going to be doing only site management. You're going to get extremely good at managing a team, taking orders for your suppliers, etc. But you won't have a big vision about the broad view of the company. When you're managing your own business, even if it's a one-person business or freelancing business, you're gonna develop your accounting, marketing, operations, etc., etc. And this is gonna allow you to, even if you go back in as an employee later on, you're gonna have a big broad view of the way company really work and how you can perform at the place you're at because you understand what's happening in accounting, what's happening in HR, etc., etc. Next thing is the personal side. So this is the second part. Some people might think you have a risk going freelancing because you don't have a proper income, you don't know what money you're going to make, etc. But this is actually a big advantage you have when you're young because your responsibilities are very, very low. You probably don't have a family yet or children, and you don't have a loan, you didn't buy your place at this moment. So it's actually quite, I would say, easy because you actually don't have many risks in life at this moment. You need to work, of course, and make some money at some point, but you can have a year when you earn little money and just grind for this moment because you don't have to support a whole family. So this is actually a very good moment to start this because this is a moment of your life where you're going to have the lowest risk because the risk increases as long as life goes on. Yeah, if you start later, like when you're 45 and you have kids and who are going to uni and you have like a loan to pay, etc., this might be more difficult to go into freelancing. There is actually a story that pops in my mind right now, which really helped me about the imposter syndrome. This is about a guy who's been working as a lean consultant in construction, and he actually told me he was working for a company, and he was around 50, and he didn't want to go freelance because he wasn't feeling um, credible. He wasn't feeling very good about this. I mean, he wasn't sure about his skills, and it actually made me think, oh my God, like that's crazy. If the guy does not feel good right now, he will never be. So the imposter syndrome can be absolutely terrible. So just get rid of it very quick. Work for some clients, and once you had like maybe I don't know 5, 10 clients who are happy with your work, the imposter syndrome just goes away. It's actually pretty simple. The thing is, when you're young, to come back on the personal side, you have the strength to go through the desert, to go through the hard times, because when you're older, you have the responsibility, etc., and you have, I think, less and less um, willpower when time goes by. So you have the strength actually to go through the bad times when you're young because you have still time to build. So this is a good thing, a big advantage to when you're young. and you actually have a lot of energy. So the thing is with energy is when you go when you grow older in life, your energy, your motivation kind of goes down, which is completely normal and natural. And the thing is, you can test many things when you're young at a low energy cost. For example, you can test making videos, you can test writing ebooks, you can test lots and lots of strategies. I'm testing lots of strategies actually, just to see what's happening. And it's actually pretty low cost. Like if it doesn't work, that's okay, and then just go to another strategy. And it's something big advantage always when you're pretty young. And the last thing I want to say about this is you get the ability, when you start young, you get the ability to build the career path you want in life very early. I started my business right after uni at 23, and now I'm 28. I've been taking all the cases I could until now, and I had some very good clients. I still have very good clients. I had more difficult clients, and now I can start to choose and understand in which kind of company I want to work for. Or like even if I go back later on, this might be an option to go back to as a in a 9 to 5 classic work. I actually know way better what I want from a company. And I know that you have companies that are way better to work for than others. So it's very good to know that those things exist so you can define what kind of people you're going to work with. It's actually not about what you're doing, it's way more about the people you want to work with and work for. So this is a big advantage because now I'm 28. I've been working for 5 years, and I have the ability to choose very early, right now in my career, which kind of clients I want and which kind of clients I don't want anymore. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video.